Is she to be buried in Christian burial, where she willfully seeks her own salvation?
I tell thee she is. Therefore make her grave straight. The crowner hath sat on her and finds it Christian burial.
How can that be, unless she drown herself in her own defense?
Why, 'tis found so.
It must be. It cannot be else. For here lies the point. If I drown myself wittingly, it argues an act. An act hath three branches. It is to act, to do, to perform. She drowned herself wittingly.
Nay, but hear you, goodman Delver.
Give me leave. Here lies the water. Good. Here stands the man. Good. If the man goes to the water and drowns himself, it is, he goes. Mark you that. But if the water come to him and drown him, he drowns not himself. He that is not guilty of his own death shortens not his own life.
But is this the law?
Ay, marry it is. Crowner's quest law.
Will you had the truth on it? If this had not been a gentlewoman, she should have been buried at a Christian burial.
Why that thou sayest, and the more pity that great folk should have countenance in this world to drown or hang themselves more than they're even Christian. Come, my spade. There's no ancient gentlemen, but gardeners, ditchers, and gravemakers. They hold up Adam's profession.
Was he a gentleman?
He was the first ever born arms.
Why, he had none.
What art a heathen? How dost thou understand the scripture? The scripture says Adam digged. Could he dig without arms? I'll put another question to thee. If thou answerest me not to the purpose, confess thyself.
Go to.
What is he that builds is stronger than either the mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter?
The gallows maker, for that frame outlives 1,000 tenants.
I like thy wit well, in good faith. The gallows does well, but how does it well? It does well to those that do ill. Now thou dost ill to say the gallows is built stronger than the church. The gallows may do well to thee. Say it again, come.
Who builds stronger than a mason, a shipwright or a carpenter?
Aye, tell me that. An unyoke.
Married, now I can tell.
To it.
Mass, I cannot tell.
Cuckle thy brains no more about it. For your dull ass will not mend his pace with beating. And when you are asked this question, next say, a grave maker. The houses he makes last till doomsday. Go get in thee and fetch me a stoup of liquor.
Has this fellow no feeling of his business? He sings in grave making.
Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness.
'Tis even so. The hand of little employment hath the daintier sense. That skull had a tongue in it and could sing once. How the knave jolts it to the ground as if 'twere Cain's jawbone. That did the first murder. This might be the pate of a politician, which this ass now overreaches. One that would circumvent God, might it not?
It might, my lord.
Or of the courtier, which could say, Good morrow, sweet lord. How dost thou, sweet lord? This might be, my lord, such a one that praised my lord, such a one's horse, when he went to beg it. Might it not?
Ay, my lord.
Why, even so. And now my lady worms, chapless and knocked out, the mazard with a sexton's spade. Here's fine revolution, and we had the trick to see it. Did these bones cost no more, the breeding out to play and loggets with them? Mine ache to think on it. There's another. Why may not that be the skull of a lawyer? Where be his quiddities, now his quillities, his cases, his tenures, and his tricks? Why does he suffer this mad knave now to knock him about the scone with a dirty shovel, and will not tell him of his action of battery? This fellow might be in this time a great buyer of land, with his statues, his recognizes, his fines, his double vouchers, his recoveries. Is this the fine of his fines and the recovery of his recoveries? To have his fine pat full of fine dirt. Will his vouchers vouch him no more of his purchases, and double ones too, than the length of breadth of bear and indentures? His very conveyances of his lands would scarcely lie in the box, and must the interior himself have no more
Not a jot more, my lord.
Is not parchment made of sheepskins?
Ay, my lord, and of calves' skins too.
They are sheep and calves which seek out assurance in that. I will speak to this fellow. Whose graves this, sirrah?
Mine, sir.
Is it yours?
It is.
Wonderful. I think it be thine indeed for those who lie in it.
You lie out in it, sir, and therefore 'tis not yours. For my part, I do not lie in it, yet it is mine.
Thou dost lie in it. To be in it and say it in thine, 'Tis for the dead, not for the quick, therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, sir. 'Twill away again from me to you.
What man dost thou dig for it?
For no man, sir.
What woman then?
For none neither.
Who is to be buried in it?
One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul, she's dead.
How absolute the knave is! We must speak by the card, and equivocation will undo us. By the Lord Horatio, this 3 years I have took note, and age is grown so picked that the toe of the peasant comes so near the heel of the courtier. He galls his cod. How long hast thou been grave maker?
Of all the days it the year, I came to it at the day that our last King Hamlet overcame Fortinbras.
Well, how long is that since?
Cannot you tell that? Every fool can tell that. It was the very day that young Hamlet was born, he that is mad and sent into England.
Aye, Mary, why was he sent to England?
Why, because he was mad. He shall recover his wits there. Or if he do not, 'tis no great matter there.
Why?
'Twill not be seen in him there. There the men are as mad as he.
How came he mad?
Very strangely, they say.
How strangely?
Faith, even with losing his wits.
Upon what ground?
Why, here in Denmark, I have been sexton here, man and boy, 30 years.
How long will a man lie in the earth, or he not?
Faith, if he be rotten before he die, as we have many pocky courses nowadays, that will scarce hold the laying in, he will last you some 8 year or 9 year. A tanner will last you 9 year.
Why he more than another?
Why, sir, his hide is so tanned with his trade that he will keep out of water a great while, and your water is a sore decayer of your warsome dead body. Here's a skull now hath lying you in the earth 30 and 20 years.
Who was it?
A warsome mad fellows it was. Whose do you think it was?
Nay, I know not.
A pestilence on him for a mad rogue. He poured a flagon of Rhenish on my head once. This same skull, sir, was Sir York's skull, the king's jester.
Alas! Poor Yorick! Poor Yorick, Horatio! I knew him, Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and now how bored in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it. Ooh. Here hung those lips that I have kissed, and I know not how oft. Where be your gods now? Your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment? We're wont to set the table on a roar, not one now to mock your own grinning. Quite chapfallen, now to get you to my lady's chamber, and tell her, let her paint an inch thick, to this favor she must come. Make her laugh at that. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander looked on the fashion in the earth,
Even so.
and smelt so? Pah.
Even so, my lord.
To what base uses we may return, Horatio? Why may not imagination trace the noble dust of Alexander till we find it stopping a bunghole?
Too early to consider, too curiously to consider so.
No faith, not a jot, but to follow him thither, with modesty enough and likelihood to lead it, as thus Alexander died. Alexander was buried, Alexander returned to dust. The dust is earth, of earth we make loan, and why of that loan whereto he was converted might they not stop a beer barrel? Imperious Caesar, dead and turned to clay, might stop a hole to keep the wind away. Oh, that the earth which kept the world in awe should patch a wall to expel winter's flaw. But soft, but a while. Here comes the king, the queen, the courtiers. Who is this they follow? And with such maimed rites, this doth betoken this course they follow did they desperate hand forego its own life. 'Twas a some estate, couch a while and mark.
What ceremony else?
That is Laertes, a very noble youth, mark.
What ceremony else?
Her obsequies had been as far enlarged, and we have warranty. Her death was doubtful, and but that great command otherwise the order, she should in ground unsanctified been lodged till the last trumpet. for charitable prayers. Flints and pebbles should be thrown on her. Yet here she is allowed in her virgin cranes, her maiden struments, and the bringing home of bell and burial.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done. We should profane the service of the dead to sing a requiem and such rest of her, as to peace parted souls.
Lay her in thy earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be, when thou liest howling.
What, the fair Ophelia?
Sweets to sweet, farewell. I hope thou shouldest have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy pride bed to have decked, sweet maid, and not have strewed thy grave.
O treble woe, fall 10 times on that cursed head, whose wicked dead thigh, most ingenious sense, deprived thee of. Hold off the earth a while, till I have caught her once more in my arms. Now pile your dust upon the quick and dead, till of this flat a mountain you have made, to overtop old Pelion, or the skyish head of blue Olympus.
What is he worse grief bears such an emphasis, whose praise of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like wonder-wounded hearers? This I, Hamlet and Dane.
The devil take thy soul!
Oh no! Jeez!
Stop.
Thou pray'st not well. I prithee thy the fingers from my throat. For thou I am not splendid and rash, yet I have in thee something dangerous, would lie the wisdom fear. Hold off thy hand.
Pluck them asunder.
Hamlet, Hamlet!
Gentlemen. Good, my lord. Be quiet.
Why, I will fight with him upon the theme, until my eyelids will no longer wag.
Oh, my son, what theme?
Ah! I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not with all the quantity of love, make up my son. What wilt thou do for her?
Oh, he is mad, Laertes!
For love of God, forbay him.
Swoons! Show me what thou do. Won't weep, won't fight, won't fast, won't tear thyself, won't drink up easel, eat a crocodile. I'll do it. Thou'st to come here to one, to outface me with leaping in her grave. Be buried quick with her, and so will I. And if thou prate of mountains, let them throw millions of acres on us, till our ground, sieging his pate against the burning zone, make us like a wart. Nay, in thou mouth, I'll rant as well as thou.
This is mere madness, and thus awhile the fit will work on him, anon, as patient as the female dove. When that her gold couplets are disclosed, his silence will sit drooping.
Hear you, sir. What is the reason that you use me thus? I loved you never. But it's no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will meow, the dog will have his day.
I pray thee, good Horatio, wait upon him. Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present push. Good Gertrude, set some watch over your son. This grave shall have a living monument. An hour of quiet thereby shall we see. Till then, in patience our proceeding be.